Welcome to this video on the law of Dharma. This is one of the many spiritual laws covered in the book, The Spiritual Laws of Life by Harold Klemp, who is the spiritual leader of Eckankar. You can get it at online bookstores or directly from Eckankar. This video is not sponsored by Eckankar, but there are links below for more information. Let's have a look at the definition in the book. Dharma, the law of life, the righteousness of life, doing what is right, the code of conduct that sustains the right ethics in life. This appears very similar to the law of Danda covered in my last video, the law of righteousness, which is self-discipline or self-government under the guidance of a true king. However, Dharma is about the righteousness of life, which is a bit different. It's about taking the kind of action that life would take if it were you. The law of life is about how we conduct ourselves as we navigate life's currents. We need to get out into the current rather than remain on the riverbank if we're going to get downstream where life is more abundant. We need to develop our own pace rather than have no pace at all. We just need to get moving. It's about taking control of our lives in the most ethical way we know how, while at the same time surrendering the outcome to life. Someone once said, "Work is prayer." It's true. It may seem a paradox, but taking action is surrender, because we seldom know the outcome. It requires trust in life. It's only when we take action that life is able to guide us and give us a helping hand. When people get lost in the wilderness, they tend to wander around in circles, remaining as lost as ever. This is wrong action. Here's a very simple survival trick to avoid this. The strategy is to keep going downhill. If you get to a stream, just follow it downstream. It will always lead to a road or a town. Who knows, this tip might save your life one day. Just remember to walk downhill or downstream, because that's where civilization is. It's right action. It's the law of Dharma. A very successful entrepreneur was once asked his secret of success. 2 words he said: good decisions. How did he learn to make good decisions? Again he offered 2 words: bad decisions. It's true, bad decisions are how we learn to make good decisions. It's through pain and suffering that we learn our greatest lessons. The law of life is trial and error until we get it right. Then it becomes a matter of fine-tuning. This is how we learn Dharma, or right action. We learn it through action, any action at all, and by our own best judgment. We'll never learn it with no action. Not to worry though, there's an easy way to learn it. Let's discover the most easy, pleasant, and effective way. Let's have a look at a passage from the Shariyat-Ki-Sugmad, the Holy Scriptures of Eckankar. In Book 1, Chapter 7, page 139, it says, "One takes for granted before he starts on the path of Ek that he has to become well grounded in the fundamentals of righteousness. He must practice the law of Dharma, the law of life itself, in all aspects of his life. This means doing what one ought to do while in Eckankar. Without doing this, he cannot make a start in life." Let's unpack this. Ek is the Holy Spirit. The path of Ek is the practice of nurturing a growing relationship with this divine power. The Ek Chela is the student or disciple of the Ek teacher. The Chela is given special spiritual exercises to do every day. They make him spiritually strong. At the same time, he is expected to put the spiritual principles he is learning into daily practice. In other words, he is expected to apply himself and to make his life more to his own honest satisfaction. This is the practice of the law of Dharma. When I became a member of Eckankar, doing the spiritual exercises awakened me to worlds and wisdom far beyond my imaginings. However, I learned there was a certain obligation. It was to myself. I had to put my findings into practice in my everyday world, or I'd lose them. I had to apply myself every which way I knew how. This kept my inner and outer lives in balance with each other. This, I learned, was the wisdom of the law of Dharma. It's the easy way to learn it. It's putting the wisdom we learn into practice, little by little. How do we apply the law of Dharma to all aspects of our lives? Much of our lives are spent taking care of ourselves and our families. The law of Dharma teaches us to take the best of care, not just of our loved ones, but also of ourselves. After all, if we don't know how to take care of ourselves properly, how can we take good care of our loved ones? We need to give ourselves the right foods and the right exercise, physically, mentally, and spiritually. This means guarding what are known as the three entrances: the eyes, the ears, and the mouth. This governs the kind of entertainment and information we choose. We need honest, wholesome sources. We need to avoid those which have a vested interest in demoralizing us with lust, fear, and outrage. Being active physically, mentally, and spiritually keeps us healthy and happy. This is one benefit of the law of Dharma. Let's look at another aspect of Dharma. In Book 2 of the Shariyat, Chapter 4, page 78. Karma, of course, is bound up with reincarnation. It is separated into two parts, cause and righteousness, which are the basic factors that create karma. It is the disobedience of the law of Dharma, which is rightness or righteousness, the law of life or what ought to be done, that brings about karma for the individual or groups. Karma comes in all flavors, from good to bad. Good karma is created by right action. Bad karma is caused by everything else, including no action at all. The trouble with bad karma is that it tends to occur over and over again. We tend to think it's just a run of bad luck. But it's really caused by a strong opinion, an old attitude, or a fear that causes us to behave contrary to the law of Dharma. It's only when we change our attitude and face our fear that we become released of this karma. In effect, we experience a spiritual healing. This benefits us two ways. First, we'll never be troubled by this bad karma ever again. Second is all the good karma that will keep coming our way as a result of our new attitude. These are even greater benefits of the law of Dharma. Now I'd like to tell you the most important thing about Dharma. Here's a quote from the Spiritual Laws of Life that explains it. Another point is to live the karmaless life. To act without creating further karma is to do everything in the name of God, or in the name of that inner master within you. This is a simple way to go through life. What does it mean to be karmaless? And especially, what's in it for us? When we do everything in the name of the divine power, when we dedicate all the activities of our day to it, we become its channel. It's doing things without any expectation of reward, just for the love and joy of being of service to life, in gratitude to life. It gives life perfect freedom to reward us in the way it wants to, and we eventually learn that it wants to give us far more than we know. As we give in this way, we receive ever more, because we can never outgive the divine power. The blessings build on themselves like a spiral, expanding like a snowball being rolled in the snow, spreading outwards and blessing the world around us. Giving and receiving God's love is the highest practice and the greatest benefit of the law of Dharma. This is spiritual freedom. What can we do right now to learn Dharma the easy way? I'm so glad you asked. It starts with the spiritual exercises of Eck. They help you take control of your own life and enjoy it well beyond what you currently imagine is possible. That's what they've done for me. They lead to right action, and right action leads to a better life and ever greater spiritual freedom. Spiritual freedom is the first and mightiest of all freedoms. It's the basis of all other freedoms. No power on earth can take it from us. Here's a simple spiritual exercise you can do right now to get started. It's called the Hue, a love song to God. It's also known as the most beautiful prayer. You sing it with a deep breath like this. Sing it with love. Sing it every day. It puts you in contact with the divine. Watch for your dreams at night and record them. They'll open you up to new ideas, inspirations, and possibilities of action you may never have considered before. If perchance you don't dream just yet, or even if you do, also watch for waking dreams. You might see a sign that gives you the answer you seek, get an inspiration out of the blue, discover just the right book, or overhear something that strangely applies directly to you. And don't be afraid to act on this divine guidance. As you do, new doors of opportunity will open for you. Remember, when you learn the law of Dharma, you will get the best of karma. Thank you for watching.